What do you mean?
Because when things aren't working, we'll typically put more effort, more hours, more work into it and stuff, trying to make it happen. And we just shut it down. That flow, we just shut down more and more in doing that. So I have to get them to throttle back. And that's one of the ways I do that, is helping when we're developing that dynamic vision, because you got to throttle back a little bit to put real essence into the dynamic vision. So in doing so, people will start noticing things changing, even as we're developing the vision, because they've released it enough to where things can flow and come about.
Ooh,
So an analogy of that is when I'm working, and I'll tell you, I know this stuff, right? And I teach it now. I've learned it firsthand. I've taught it to, the people that work for me and things like that and stuff. But when COVID hit in my business, I had 14, I think it was 14 cancellations in one day of speaking events and things I had planned on the calendar and things like that. They all canceled. And it was like, man, without realizing it, I went back into that extra labor mode. And I started working frantically and trying to do all kinds of stuff and everything else. And nothing came of that. And finally, I was working with a coach at the time, and I do regularly, because they say best coaches have coaches. And I get a lot out of it, really. But
yeah.
he told me one of the things I love to do is hang glide. And he said, "What are you doing?" I told him. He goes, "Stop that right now. Stop. Go pack a bag, go to Chattanooga, and go hang gliding for a few days." And I did.
Free your
I
mind.
was out there putting a hang glider together, and somebody called me out of the blue, that heard about me from social media or something, and said, "Hey, I really want to talk to you. I have this going on and everything else." And I said, "Okay, I'm about to run off a 2,000-foot mountaintop on a hang glider. But once I land at the bottom, can I call you back?" And ended up being a client. Other opportunities start opening up. But when I'm so focused on that, it's kind of like the analogy of that being in a kayak on a river. When we're going with the flow of things, more opportunities show up easier than when we're going upstream looking for views and things like that.
It's so strange because it seems like we're doing the opposite of what we should be doing, but we're all doing it and it seems normal that we're doing it. It doesn't really make sense when you really think about it.
Well,
I
and where do we get that from?